And it says we are live. I'm just going to adjust this a little bit. Of course, it's Thursday night, babies. I'm here. You're beautiful. And that means it's time for GotBot Goes live. As always, I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share. Of course, subscribe. And while you're at it, light them up, baby. And hit the notification bell. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all my social media links, all of that down in the description below. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube. Become a channel member, and tonight is going to be all about Beast, baby. We've had a lot of stuff kind of come up recently. This is going to be a little bit of a different show. First things first, and I'm going to reiterate this as we go and as people come in here. But next week's show is going to be in a different time slot. It will actually be more like a Wednesday afternoon. I'm going to explain that a little bit later. But this show is actually our 2-year anniversary show. That's right. This is 2 years of the live show. I don't think we've ever missed a week. We've slightly been preempted and adjusted our times, but I don't think we've missed a week. And there are some folks here that join us every week that have been here from the very beginning on actually June the 26th of 2019. That was the first show. It was about 4 days before mine and Starscream wife's wedding. So there you go, right? So this is kind of the show just before that. And this is the 2-year anniversary show. So we're going to celebrate by way of Beast. Now, I also mentioned, if you saw the title, that we have an unboxing. It's very small. It's different. It's not Transformers, which is going to be weird, but it'll give us a little bit of a discussion as well. So I'm just going to grab the news and whatnot for tonight. I'm going to check in with you guys quickly. I want to get through the news really a fair bit, because there's a lot of stuff to kind of cover in regards to Rise of the Beast, in regards to the Kingdom trailer that I really want to sort of address. So I'm going to get stuff set up here now with you guys, and I'm going to ask for your indulgence. I hope that the week is treating you well as we make our way through this, the first week of summer. For the record, yesterday's review that went up was Scalor. The one for Tuesday was actually a Rescue Bots Academy hoist. It was like, I had it. It was given to me to review, so I'll review it, but it is what it is. Then we put up Gulf/Scalor. Tomorrow will be Turtler in comparison to Half Shell. And I think that my thoughts on that are a little bit interesting, because I thought I was 100% sold on Half Shell as the better lad. And he may be, but I don't necessarily think he's the better lad now, at least not completely. Let's see here as we go up. Move this over here just a little bit. Oh, Waluigi, happy to see you. Ultra Marcus, always glad when you're here, buddy. Hey, John. Razor Matrix. Thank you, John. I appreciate it, buddy. Let's see. I think I've been here a year, probably, but since you've been around, though, man, you haven't missed many a live show, buddy. You have not missed many. Hey, ALB. Thank you, Waluigi. Hey, Ultra Megatronus. How am I? Great, baby. Great. 2-year anniversary. How can I not be great? It's summer, sunny day, got some stuff done, even managed to get a little bit of voice work done for the season finale. So working away as best I can, Let's see. I got that RC figure 3 days earlier than expected, and she's awesome. I'm glad that you enjoy her. That was the Legends one. Yes, was it the Legends one? Which one was it? I do remember us talking about it, but I don't remember which one it was you said. I want Thrilling 30s Waspinator. I think he's going to be infinitely better than the Kingdom one. That's just me. I mean, to each their own, but I feel like I'm keeping my T30 Waspinator. Hey, Blue Raccoon. BS Prime, happy to see you here, buddy. I just like summer. Actually, so do I. I don't do the heat well, and I don't do the extreme cold well. I like autumn and spring. That's my favorite time because it's more middle of the road. I don't like when it's really, really hot. I don't like when it's really, really cold. It ain't my jam, man. It just ain't my jam. Um, the person voicing Primal in Kingdom is a clown. You know what? Let's talk about the Kingdom trailer. So the Kingdom trailer, it's 20 seconds, came. Let's talk about what I do find interesting. I'm not really sure what Magnus's deal is. Like, he's kind of there, it seems. Alive. Well, alive, it seems. I don't know if he's like a Terracon. His voice sounds different. His eyes are red. Like, there's something up with Ultra Magnus that he's definitely not a good guy, and he's not the Magnus that we know. So I find that interesting. I think that seeing at the very beginning, I wasn't even sure what I saw. That might have been Megatron, Beast Wars Megatron. It looked like a little bit of battle there. Then, of course, we see the intro of the Maximals, which is neat. Do I like this animation better than the original Beast Wars animation? Not really. I know everybody says, oh, the original is dated, blah, 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 blah. I think it holds up. I think it's fine. I like it. I don't have any issue with it. I never did. Granted, the backgrounds and those textures are highly dated, but the actual character models I'm generally okay with, to be honest with you. And it might just be that I'm used to them. These ones, they look fine, a little bit different, but they look fine, I guess. I feel like there's an excess of green on Rhinox. Like, some of that I feel like should be broken up with some more color. Primal looks all right, I guess. I don't know, like, if you were to ask me, do I think that the Prime Wars trilogy, like Optimus Primal and Rat Trap and Cheetor and whatnot, look better than the originals? For me, no. But that's just me. Other people probably will. What I do find interesting is that they don't seem to be made from the actual releases that we got. Like, the Cheetor is definitely not that Kingdom Cheetor. It looks more like the original Cheetor, like the head is splayed out. The eyes are red on it, you know? His shins are completely blue. And it's not the back legs folded up. Like, it's proper shins. Rat Trap, his lower legs are not rat legs like the Kingdom release. So I feel like the models are better for them than what we probably got before. But I think they're also heavily based on the like original Beast Wars models. In terms of the Primal voice, if it's not Gary Chalk, then it's not Primal. I'm sorry. It's like when, you know, and people debate this all the time about different, we all know that the actors can't stay around forever. I mean, we're only human, right? And like Optimus Prime is Peter Cullen, you know, Megatron's Frank Welker. And while we've had different versions and some of them good, I think the only way that another voice actor is acceptable is if it's under one of two conditions. One, they are able to emulate the voice that we already know and love for a specific character. Because though the actor might be gone, we associate that voice with that character. So we want something that's at least an approximation of it. That doesn't mean someone's an imitator and not an actor. It actually means they're a very gifted actor if they're able to pull off an already established character. Or two, the character model and interpretation of that character is vastly different than what we've gotten in the past, in which case a kind of completely different voice is acceptable. Case in point, animated Megatron, a very different take on Megatron. Animated Optimus Prime, a very different take on Optimus Prime. Transformers Prime, Starscream. Like, you would not look at that Starscream and say that's the G1 Starscream. You just wouldn't. So I think it got to be under those two circumstances. In this case, I felt like, it's funny, I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine after hearing Optimus Prime say, like, we're from your future. And I was like, he sounds like Barry Kripke from Big Bang Theory, if you know that. Like, that's the inflection that he has in his voice. And I don't know if it is an inflection and a speech impediment that the actor cannot help, or if it is done deliberately, in which case it doesn't sound right for Optimus Primal, at least not to my ear. Maybe for somebody else it will. I see what Lego is saying there about him being a clown. I'm not going to say he's a clown, but he's not Gary Chalk. And to me, he's not Optimus Primal. It's just, it is what it is. That's kind of my take on the whole like Kingdom trailer. I'm saying trailer, 20-second spot, whatever it is. Let's see. After all I did to get Kingdom Ultra Magnus is not that bad. Kingdom Ultra, like, there's nothing wrong with Kingdom Ultra. He's not the Ultra Magnus for me, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with him. It's a solid mold. I mean, it's based on that Siege one. And when I reviewed the Siege, I said it's a true leader. It's a great mold. It's not for me. I don't really like the vehicle mode. It's not the Magnus for me, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Same thing kind of goes for Kingdom, if not more so even than Siege. Fine mold, absolutely nothing wrong with it. Would score quite high because it works well, it transforms well, it's fine. It's just not the one for me. But if you're happy with it, man, like, good, awesome. I can't argue it with you. What's up? Hey, Jay, Ninja Bill. Happy to see you here, buddy. Let's see. I just got Kingdom Scorponok today. Wow. Congratulations. Like, I don't expect anything from Wave 3. Like, everybody's getting, like, a Rhinox and a Galvatron and a Scorponok. I'm going to tell you now, don't come looking to me for reviews of any of that soon. I will be shocked if it's anywhere here before end of August, early September. If it comes anytime before that, I will be shocked. As of right now, there has not even been a sighting of Wave 3 in Canada at all. It got to be sighted in Canada before it shows up here. And once it's sighted in Canada, it'll be several weeks before it comes here. So congratulations. I'm glad you got him. That being said, I think I'm going to stick with my original Scorponok. I'm interested to see this one and do a comparison because my original Scorponok, as everybody knows, is very heavily customized. So it'll be very interesting to see how a heavily customized version stacks up to the new one. If you don't have it customized, then you probably want to go with the new one. Let's see, as we go down here, yeah, thoughts on the weather, right? Generations with the Blackmore showing. I don't know what generations you're talking about there. Magnus did have his Earth. He had an Earth mode. Oh, wait, do you mean in the trailer Magnus had his Earth mode? I never noticed that. Interesting. Hey, Manitoba. Go down here. Was born in that animation. Sounds like you want to live in Hawaii? No, I do not want to live in Hawaii. Starscream wife might. Although, no, I don't think she'd want to live there either. Too hot. Maybe Magnus is a Bison with what? I don't know what a Bison is. Oh, Vision. Maybe you mean Vision. I've thought about that too. Kind of like Nemesis Prime was. Like, that was a fake tease. I've thought about that too. I don't do that again. That was such a ripoff. It's just a dream version of Magnus. Maybe. I mean, you could be right, Crimson. Again, that's terrible. If that's what they're doing, like, that's don't even waste your time. Hey, Sawyer. She's saying she could live in Hawaii? I don't know, man. I don't think she would. Hey, Warren. Let's see. As I go down here kind of quick. Hey, Maximal 10. If they use the toy for the CG model of Cheetor, it would probably break. Ha! Ha! Probably. Fair point. See, I wanted to see Cheetor a little closer, but yes, the original Beast Wars character models are superior. Agreed. So we go down here real quick, and I know I'm skipping over stuff, guys. I'm sorry. I don't want to be here forever because we have a fair amount of news to get through, and I don't intend to be all night at it. It seems like whoever's Kingdom Primal was channeling Prime Trilogy's Ron. They were trying to channel Ron Perlman, and I don't think they done it well, to be honest with you. I could accept Ron Perlman. I didn't think it was great as Primal, but okay. I don't know. Gary Chalk. Get Gary Chalk. It's as simple as that. Get Gary Chalk. I don't understand why this is such a hard concept. If the actor is still there, get the actor we know because that's the voice we know for the character. It's not rocket science. I remember when I was a Danny Phantom. What? I remember when I was a Danny Phantom fan. Ron was voice of Miss. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm going to move on from that because I don't know what you're talking about, man. But I mean that's not new. We all know. Like I don't know pop culture. Maybe the Magnus vision could be a hint to Prime being corrupted by them. I don't think so. I mean, it could, but I don't believe that. This country's too crazy. Okay. Yeah, actually next week is Canada Day. The 1st of July is Canada Day. Just before you guys have July 4th in the US, we have Canada Day here. As we go down here. Sorry, I wasn't what? Sorry, it wasn't the Takara version. It was the one that came with the comic. So I wanted to say Legends, but I mean, no, it's the Thrilling 30 is the one that came with the comic. Hey, T-Fan page 1001. North Carolina is pretty calm over here for you. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but okay. Hey, Slow. Okay, so let's run through the Hey, T-Fan Geek. I'm doing great, buddy. Can't stay, but I wanted to ask with the ROTB being said on Netflix film. What are they after? I'm thinking the golden. Probably, I would think the golden disc. That would make the most sense. And the golden disc was like used by Incan society, and that's how the Incans were so advanced because they had knowledge from the golden disc or something. That's I would honestly say, Brian. I would say you're 100% right. I really do think you're 100% right. Razor Matrix says the reason why they won't get him is because he's part of a union. Oh, I know why they won't get him, because they're cheap. I get it, but that doesn't mean that it's right. You know, okay. Okay, so let's go through the news and get through it. So, very first thing, the Kingdom trailer, done. We've already talked about it. What else do we have here? Kingdom Red Alert. Great. Cool. We know it's supposedly going to be a Walgreens exclusive, which will be an EB Games exclusive up here. I did not get I reviewed it, but I did not own the Siege Red Alert. I didn't want it. I was waiting for the Earth mode. Great. I'm going to get it. However, I can't say I'm perfectly happy because his thighs are red. They should be white. His arms are red. They should actually be more gray with some red highlights. So I'm not going to say I'm totally happy with Red Alert, but I think it's better than the Siege for me and my taste. But when it comes to his scores, I'm going to tell you now, like for accuracy, he's probably only going to get about a 7.5, maybe an 8. Depends. Maybe if I'm in a good mood, I'll give him higher, but he is not correct. Banana Force showed a prototype of their Optimus Prime. Apparently, it's supposed to be G1, but it is highly stylized. And the dude got these like little wings. I don't know what the little wings are supposed to be. Doesn't transform, but he's made of ABS plastic and die cast. I don't know. I guess it's cool. I suppose if you like a stylized robot Optimus Prime with little wings that doesn't transform. Somebody said to me recently that Hasbro uses 2 types of plastic. Hasbro uses, as do many other companies, various types of plastic, at least 20 or more. I just wanted to put that out there because I feel like a lot of people sometimes get incorrect information. And while I think they wholeheartedly believe it, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot more to it than sometimes what people think that they know, myself included. What else does that Banana Force Optimus have? He also has a bunch of LED. He also has a matrix and an opening chest, and he comes with a rifle. Okay, cool, I guess. Ion Blaster would be better, in my opinion, but whatever. What else do we have? The Loot Crate Optimus Prime was shown with those weird proportions and 3 whole points of articulation. The head can rotate, and each wrist can rotate, and that's it. I'm not a Loot Crate guy. Like, if you are, cool, but I've seen like some of those unboxings. I'm like, if I spent money on that, I'd feel ripped off. It's not for me. It's for some people, but it ain't for me. Fans Toys showed off Tesla 2.0, sold out like that. People want a Perceptor, I guess. It's cool he can do the tank mode. He looks pretty good. I think the blue is way off. I don't think it's Perceptor blue at all, but that's just me. I'm not a Fans Toys fan. So, but if you are and you want an updated, upgraded Tesla, go for it. Speaking of Fans Toys, they've done a bunch of reissues that also all sold out like in moments. Rabid fan base, good for them. Don't know if it's great for the collecting community. Let's see. We did see, though we're going to talk about Transformers 7, Rise of the Beasts in a little bit. We did get a picture of Optimus Prime kind of cloaked. Some people said it looks like it's Siege. No, there are certain, I don't know what you call them, like pads and protectors and stuff that's on it so that the vehicle doesn't get damaged in transit, right? That's what it is. But I do think it's very interesting that covered up, it did look like the Siege Optimus Prime, because I do agree with you. It's not, but I think it's very interesting that a lot of people thought that. We saw Planet X show off their IDW Grimlock. I'm pretty sure that this is a heavy remold of Vulcan, which of course is their Fall of Cybertron Grimlock. New head, completely new parts. I mean, it's as much of a new mold as you could get, and it might be a new mold. I think it's Vulcan in terms of engineering and the skeleton, but everything else is new. It's not the Grimlock for me, but if you're an IDW fan and you love that Grimlock design, then man, oh man, I think Planet X nailed it. Really, really nailed it. I'll give credit where credit is due. It looks beautiful. It's too stylized for my taste, but it looks gorgeous. Really, really good. And I'm not surprised. Planet X does great stuff anyway. What else do we have? Speaking of Dinobots, we saw Dinobots Adventures, which I think is like a subline that's loosely connected to Rescue Bots, but it's its own thing. And what we saw was a Sludge, a Snarl, a Slug, a Swoop, an Optimus, a Bumblebee, and then this 3-pack that has a little Grimlock, another Slug, I think it is, or maybe it's Snarl, and then what looks like Transformers Prime Predaking. It's really weird. Now, all of these are small. They're simple. They're definitely for young, new fans. Go back, look at my Hoist review from Tuesday, and you'll understand kind of what I'm talking about. But you know what? They look neat. Honestly, they really, really do look neat. They're not going to be for us collectors. But it's a nice way to introduce, kids and stuff, the next generation to Dinobots, so that when they do grow up to become collectors like us, they'll want the big boys, as the old saying goes. Let's see. What else do we have here? There was an interview from the 2021 Generations booklet or book with you. I hope I'm saying this right. Yuya Onishi, who, for those who don't know, not only does he work for Takara, but he is the team leader. He started his career with Beast Hunters and Bots and has kind of evolved from there. He also worked on Studio Series Hot Rod, but, I'm not going to hold that against the guy. It's interesting. In the interview, he's like, everybody thinks it's definitive. It's perfect. We all know that I don't. But to each their own. A lot of people do. Also, there was an interview with Takashi Kunihiro. Sure, I'm butchering that name and not saying it right. He has been with them since the 80s. He started designing stuff with the 86 film. He worked on HasLab Unicron, MPM 12. Interesting little read. Not super detailed, not the most in-depth interviews, but a pretty neat little read all the same. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. We're going to go over to this side. I'm going to do all the news. I'll go back to you guys then, but I'm going to do all the news besides the film. And then I'll go back to you guys, then we'll do the film, and then we'll do the unboxing bit. Don't need to do that. Let's see. We saw more pictures of Sideswipe and Maximal Skywarp. Looks neat. Cool, I guess. I don't need to see more images. I need them in my hand. Apparently, that's not going to be till November. Too bad, but cool. A lot of people don't want the Skywarp. I wouldn't particularly buy him. I wouldn't go looking for him. But if he comes with Sideswipe, I love that Air Razor mold. So I'm cool with it, neat with it. I think that the Eagle? Is he eagle? Hawk? Maybe he's a hawk. I don't even know what kind of bird he is, but he's a cool looking bird. I want to say bald eagle. I think he looks like a bald eagle. Also, I do want to note, and this is a shout out, and I'm going to do this now, to TF Fan Geek. I said in the Gulf review that he was a coelacanth, but no, apparently the first C is actually, it's a S sound, so it's actually a coelacanth. I had no idea. I don't know fish, especially deep fish that might be extinct with sharp teeth, which also means that Colagon, who is a member of God Neptune, is actually Coelagon, which is easier to say. So I want to thank the TF Fan Geek for pointing that out, because I was saying it wrong the whole time and had no idea. What? Ah, good. Dr. Wu showed off swords for Earthrise RCs. If you like Earthrise RC and you want swords for, Dr. Wu got you covered. We all know Dr. Wu makes some nice stuff. MMC showed off their MP scaled groove. Kind of next to him, though, was also Streetwise. Apparently, he becomes the limb mode without any extra parts. However, it does look like, and I'm not well up on MMC's Defensor, it does look like the motorcycle is attached maybe to a leg and foot piece. So maybe there's a completely different piece. Maybe, you know, there's no extra parts with Groove himself, but there is an extra skeletal part that maybe goes with Hotshot or something. I don't know. Or Hotshot, Hotspot. I don't know. We saw Shattered Glass Gold Bug. Now, we all know my thoughts about that Cliff Jumper mold. I'm only on it. Some people said it should have been a Beetle. What a lot of people don't realize is that the Volkswagen contract is for that use of a Volkswagen Beetle only to be used for Bumblebee. No other character, Bumblebee. That's why Bug Bite didn't have the Bug Beetle mode. That's why Goldbug is not going to have the Beetle mode, but cool with it. I like the Shattered Glass stuff. I don't have any version of Goldbug at all in my collection, so my first version of a Goldbug is going to be Shattered Glass Goldbug. And you know what? Evil Throttlebot, I'm okay with that, man. I'm okay with that. And I'm kind of okay with it, like it not necessarily just being evil Bumblebee. It's a bit of an evolution off that, so I dig it. I like it. What else do we have? Flex Seal showed Fleximus Prime during Prime Day. It was basically a CGI Optimus that looked a lot like Star Convoy, actually. And it transforms into, you guessed it, a can of Flex Seal. And apparently, like, fixing leaks is the right of all sentient beings. It was like they were corny commercials, but I bust a gut laughing at them. It was hilarious. What else do we have here? We saw some box art for MP52 Starscream. Okay, neat, I guess. If you want MP52 Starscream, it's just box art. It is what it is. We don't need anything else off of that page now. We'll go over to this one. We can leave all of that. We're almost done. We're almost done the news here, except for the film stuff. So what else? Magic Square showed off their Super Deformed Nightbird, which is, if you know the Super Deformed RC, the Nightbird is just a remold of that. It's not for me, but if you like the little SD stuff, they're cute. I mean, they're cute. They transform. They're functional enough. They're articulated. It's very like chibi style, so you got to be down with that. If you're not down with that, they're not going to be for you. If you are down with that, the Magic Square probably got you covered, and they make a good product, as we all know. Speaking of Magic Square, they also showed off their Legends Class Ultra Magnus, who is going to stand 13.3 centimeters. Now, this is not the kind of prototype that we saw before that looked kind of lanky for a Magnus. This is more armor that will go on the white variant of Light of Freedom. So you would have to get the white Light of Freedom Legends Optimus, and then you would have to buy this as like the armor. It's basically the trailer. You'd have to buy it separate as the armor. But once it goes together, man, what a fantastic G1 looking Ultra Magnus it is. I would say if you are a Legends collector, it might be the definitive Ultra Magnus to get. And in Australia, both Grindor and Studio Series 86 Slug have both been seen at retail. So I guess they're starting to come out. I'm going to check in with you guys, then we'll get into the film stuff. I don't think I have anything there. No, the only thing I have left there is going to be trivia, which we'll do in a few moments as well. Okay, let's check back in with you guys because I know you probably had a lot to say about a lot of that third-party stuff. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to have to go up. And some of this, guys, I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to skip. I'm going to skip for the sake of brevity. I'm going to skip some of it. It's not because I love you any less. You know that. But I'm just trying to kind of get through stuff a little bit here. Maybe one disc in Brooklyn, the other in Peru. I think Brian's 100% correct. Yes, I agree with that. Absolutely, honestly. Hey, Cato. Let's see. The reason why they, by the way, when you're done here, Cato just, if I'm not mistaken, premiered and had his Rhinox review go up. So go check that out after the live show here. See what his thoughts are on it. By the way, speaking of Rhinox, like, here's my T30. He was in the thumbnail. And I took this guy out today because I'm like, at some point, the new one's going to come in. The new one seems to be getting a lot of flack. And I transformed this thing. And you know what? It was the easiest time I've ever transformed him was today. In the review, a long time ago, I think I complained about it, but this guy went together like butter. Even his two little disc things, his blasters, his Gatling gun things, like went down in his tummy like butter. Everything worked here perfectly. And I don't know what the new one is like, but I know this one has an opening and closing jaw, and it's the real jaw that becomes the chest. It's not a faux jaw. The legs, front legs, don't really do much of, like, they can go forward a little bit, but they don't do a whole lot. But they do have a little bit of movement because of the shoulder. And the back legs, I mean, you do have a knee. I don't know if the new one is more static or not, but like for a Rhino, like, he actually has decent articulation. Like, you can get him walking. It'd be a nuisance to animate, but you can get him walking. So unless the new one is better than that, I don't see the reason to get the new one. I probably will for comparison's sake, but I don't know. We'll see. The reason why they won't is because it's part of a union. Yeah, I knew that. As we go down here, ROTB enemy is Unicron, right? Why would they need the golden disc? Revision. Why not? And how do we know that this isn't going to lead to more films, Crimson? How do we know it's not going to lead to more films? We're going to talk about kind of my thought on that in a little bit, but that's a very good point. About 15 people will plow from Cato's premiere, probably. If they have the Matrix, the art comes with the golden disc. Yeah, the art comes with the golden disc, but that has nothing to do with the film. That has to do with Kingdom. Let's see. You know what? A clamp down repaint. I'm with Brian. A clamp down repaint of that Earth mold. I would get that. Who will voice Nightbird? I don't know. She never had a voice. Here's the nice thing about Nightbird. She never had a voice in G1, so whoever they get, I'm cool with. Maybe she won't have any voice. Thirsty. That's what a lot of talking does to you guys. As we go down here a little bit. Need a clamp down. Why is everyone saying Unicron is involved? No one confirmed that. We're going to talk about that in a little bit too. Jade Bet, the original actors cannot voice them in the Netflix. Oh, no, they can voice them in the Netflix show, except Netflix is too cheap to actually pay union wages, so they get scab workers. That's what happened. Like, let's call it what it is. Like, let's not call it what it's not. It's not that they can't. It's that Netflix is too cheap to pay them to do it because they want to go outside union labor. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of new talent that is getting an opportunity that was willing to take the role for less money. I get it. I absolutely get it. But to go outside a union, as somebody who is in a union, to go outside the union for workers, I think is a pretty slimy move. I'm not going to lie. So, Jade, let's not call it what it. Let's not say what it. Let's not say that they can't, because that's not true. It's that Netflix didn't want to dish out the proper union set pay rates, right? They didn't want to dish that out. So let's call it what it is. With the quality of the toys, they use bootleg plastics. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, Jade is right there. Protoman kind of confirmed Unicron. All but confirmed Unicron. I wanted to get a new Shattered Glass Goldbug. Mine's already on pre-order. He was on the set, yeah, and knows more than everyone else. That is true. If you're talking about the Masterpiece B Prime, that is the worst Masterpiece Prime. I don't know. I honestly think MP10 is the worst Masterpiece Prime. I hate that thing. I really do. I hate that the arms can't even go out on it. I don't like it. A lot of people are like, it's amazing. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not even fun to transform. I'm trying to get a hold of Larkin to get some Galvatron 3D. Oh, okay. Cool. I get good luck. Contact Larkin. As we go down here. Hey, Ken. It's all right, man. You're here for the most important stuff. The film, the bit of a different unboxing, and the trivia. We got trivia coming up very shortly, man. As we go down here. Work. I hear you, buddy. As we go down. And I know I'm skipping stuff here, guys. Hey, War. I want all the Dinobots. I just hope that they keep the scale. Supposedly they are. Supposedly all the Dinobots will be done in Studio Series, and they're going to keep the scaling. For the longest time, there hasn't been any word on Snarl. There have now been a few rumors that I wonder more if they're just fan hope than rumors for Snarl. I'd like to see something a little more official for Snarl. But apparently, yeah, they're going to keep that scaling. So fingers crossed, man. I'm right there with you. I think I'm going retro and start back collecting MPs. Go for it. I never would. I would never. Nothing about MP has ever appealed to me. Everybody goes nuts for them. I've never been impressed with them. I've always thought that they're over-engineered. They only look okay to me. The price has always been a killer for me. I'm like, oh, no, like it's not for me. If it's for you, cool. But I'm not the guy. And like the thing is, I don't even think I can give really an objective review truly on an MP, because to me an MP has to be perfect. It has to be 10s for everything. If it's not, then it's not a masterpiece and it's a lie. And most of them aren't perfect. And I hold you guys know, I hold a very high standard and I'm super critical. So if one paint app is off, it's not perfect. If one joint isn't smooth as butter, it's not perfect. If the transformation is anything but smooth like butter, it's not perfect. If one thing gets held up, it's not perfect. It's as far as I'm concerned, calling themselves masterpiece back themselves into a corner because you're expecting something that's really unrealistic, or at least I am, and that's why I don't get into it. Right? To each their own. If you're cool with saying something is a masterpiece that's not perfect, neat, but it ain't going to be for me. I done a whole discussion about just how Masterpiece was Masterpiece on my Patreon and channel member service. And I literally went through every single Masterpiece and which ones were true masterpieces and which ones have noted issues. And it's funny how the quality seems to go down in the later releases. Just throwing it out there, man. Bald Eagle, thanks, man. Prehistoric pronunciation consultant. I do. I don't know nothing about prehistoric stuff, right? All-in-one combiner. Yeah, apparently all-in-one combiner. That's what they're saying. I don't. And again, like it's MP scale, so I have zero interest in it. Oh yeah, up behind me is All Star, Scream Wife, Sailor Moons. A lot of figure arts up there. So we go down. Great mold and engineering. Are you talking about that cliff jumper thing? Not really. I find it extremely cumbersome and clumsy and clunky to transform. I'm not a fan of the mold at all. I got it a bunch of times and I kind of hate it. But I like the characters, and there's no other version of the character really. That's easy to get anyway. Hey, Dragonfly. Hey, Paul. Enjoyed the interview. Yes, with TF Reviewer and Lazy. Yes, for those who didn't see it, last Sunday on the TF Reviewers channel, there was a panel interview that went up with myself and Starscream Wife and Lazy Eyebrow and Wifey. And it was really more about our spouses and their experiences with us as reviewers. It was interesting. It was fun to do. Coming up this Saturday, ironically, the actual date of the very first live show coming up this Saturday is an interview that I did myself with Anthony. That'll go up on the TF Reviewers site. And of course, Saturday is going to be Tales from Teletran. Cool, right? Cool. So it should be a good Saturday. You got a couple of shows there to look forward to, an interview and Tales, right? You got a couple of good shows there to look forward to. Let's see here. And guys, I apologize for the stuff that I'm skipping over, man. I really, really do apologize. I highly doubt the voice actors aren't part of the SAG. I don't know. For Kingdom, they're not part of SAG. But for the film, they'll be, yeah. If you take the bottom jaw out and flip it around, Rhinox will look more... Why would I do that? That seems like a lot more work when my Thrilling 30 just looks accurate anyway. Like, if I got to put in that much effort to make something look accurate, then it's a poor design as far as I'm concerned. Like, taking the jaw out, I'm not doing that. I would want a voice actor, but the... What? One gripe is... What? I would want to be a voice actor, but the one gripe is we can't say anything. Hey, Sam. The Scourge from the new film could be taking cues from... Yeah, we're going to talk about all that in a minute. You guys are getting ahead of me, man. Hey, Nate. Dinobots worry me since they only referenced 3 when talking about the... No, 4 have been confirmed. 4 are confirmed. Sludge is confirmed and Swoop is... They're both confirmed. Snarl is the one that's not confirmed. Oh... Some people have said that Swoop could be a Voyager. I think that I could see it. I think he would have to be a tall Voyager. Like if he's like the height of Cyclonus, I think that works for Swoop because he's not quite as bulky and big as the other guys. But if he's going to be a shorter Voyager, that's going to be a problem. He needs to be a tall Voyager like Cyclonus. But Snarl wasn't in the 86 movie. Exactly. There's my concern. Actually, Snarl was in 2 scenes in the 86 movie. But that does make me nervous. Now, they also said that they would do the entire team. Everybody knows there are 5 Dinobots, not 4, regardless what the movie was. You got to do a Snarl or people are going to riot. Let's see. MP is not good, overpriced. It's not for me. It's not for me, man. MP won't stand for Masterpiece. I will stand for Major Pile. I mean, to each their own. There are people who love Masterpiece. It's not for me, man. It is Generations adjacent. It absolutely is. Studio Series 86 is absolutely Generations adjacent. It was done specifically. Let's not kid ourselves. 86 exists because they didn't have confidence that the Beast Wars characters were going to sell. So they said, well, Studio Series has always been a little wishy-washy with some hits and misses because the movies and fans of the movies are a little wishy-washy and hits and misses. But their bread and butter was always Generations is G1 and that's what sells. Well, if you're going to try and dabble in something like Beast Wars outside of that G1, you need to see how that's going to sell, but you need to make sure for those investors that money's still there. So what do? You do Studio Series 86 because you're still getting that G1 fix out there and the profits still look like they're up. So you can take the risk in the Generations line with Beast Wars, but it's not a huge risk. If it flops and fails, you'll move on. I don't think it's flopping and failing, but that's just what I'm seeing in my neck of the woods. That's why they let Snarl die in the Prime Wars trilogy as an Easter egg for that thing. As we go down here. I guess the MP01 scale was just too big. Yeah, absolutely was too big. Okay, so let's talk about the movie now. But before we do that, before we talk about the movie, let's get this out of the way. Trivia time. Trivia time. We're going to get to the trivia out of the way, and then we're going to talk about the movie, and then we got our little unboxing, and then we're going to get out of here. Trivia time. Here is trivia. It is provided to us tonight by our good friend Dragonfly. And in the episode, The Quest for Survival, what are morph bots? Are morph bots microbes that eat Cybertronian metal? Or are they B, tiny transformers? Or are they C, transformers with more than 3 modes? Or are they D, mechanical plants? What are morph bots? A, microbes that eat metal. B, tiny transformers. C, transformers that have more than 3 modes. Or D, mechanical plants. We have a D. We have a D. Hey, Devlin. D, D, A. D, D, D. And the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is... I thought I just dropped something. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is D, mechanical plants. Indeed. Weird, man, weird. No idea. Neither did I, Jay. A lot of times I don't know what the answer is. Okay, so let's get into Rise of the Beast. So we knew that there was a Transformers 7. What? That's the name you should know? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So let's get into the film. So we know, first things first, that the countdown starts right now. Today is the 24th of June of 2021. On this day, 1 year from now, we'll all be seeing the premiere of Rise of the Beast. 364 days left to go, baby. The countdown starts now. So we know that Transformers 7 is Rise of the Beast. It's interesting because there had been talk of a Bumblebee sequel. There had been talk of a Beast Wars film, but that only one of them was going to be done. Now we're getting both of them mashed into one. Interesting. Were they always one film all along? Because this does stand as a sequel to Bumblebee. Now I'm going to kind of go through my notes and I'll sort of talk about things because that's the quickest way to sort of get through this. A lot of this information came from Proto Man. Some of it came from Benson Yee. So Optimus Prime is a G1 styled Optimus Prime. Bumblebee is basically like an off-road Camaro, if that makes sense, with like bigger tires, and he has like lights a la Ratchet. Like there's a lot going on there. We have seen Optimus Primal, who is furry, may have some skin per se, also has rusty pieces. Same with Air Razor. Air Razor is a metallic bird with some rusty pieces. Rhinox, kind of the same thing. Rhinox is noted as being like an Ironhide type who is both the muscle and the brains of the Maximals. Optimus Primal is known as kind of having the same stature as Optimus Prime and vehemently defensive of the Maximals. It seems like the Maximals have been here a long time. This film, it has now been established, takes place 7 years after the first one in 1994, though we had thought it was going to be 1992. Canada and Peru are filming locations. Montreal and was it Machu Picchu? So obviously they are using Canada as a stand-in for Brooklyn. Machu Picchu is obviously going to tie into the Incan side of things. This is where the whole notion that Brian mentioned of golden discs came up. I could see them hunting golden discs. I could see the golden discs, however, being used for something different than what they traditionally have been used for. And it might be something totally different. There's always a MacGuffin in these things, right? I would suggest to you that might be what the MacGuffin is. What else do we have here as we go down? There's going to be, now this is where things start to concern me a little bit because there's going to be Autobots, Decepticons, though they're not mentioned as prominently, Maximals, Predacons. Apparently the Predacons are the natural enemies of the Maximals, and Reptilian. So outside of Beast Wars Megatron, who else would be Reptilian? Pterosaur. I wouldn't think Scorponok is Reptilian. Maybe Dinobot. Like Black Arachnia isn't Reptilian. So I don't know what's going to happen with the actual Beast Wars characters. That'll be interesting. And then we have a separate group called Terracons that are led by Scourge. And word is that Scourge is kind of a mix of G1 and RID 2001. Apparently has 4 smoking smokestacks behind him and an electric claw hand. And when he, extinguishes the spark, kills a victim, he cuts off their insignia and tattoos it or welds it onto himself. Like, he's a bad dude already. Like, he is a bad dude. It's been noted that the Terracons are not allies of the Predacons. As soon as I heard Terracons, I said, how very Unicronish of them. I think Unicron is going to be the big baddie. And I think that, here's the thing. Much like with Bumblebee, they're keeping it real loose here as to whether or not it's connected to the main movie franchise and like prequels. It's been said that it's its own standalone thing by the director. We know that one of the producers is Michael Bay, so it's still a Bay production. This isn't a small budget film like B. This is a big summertime blockbuster. My concern is with 5 factions that you're trying to stick too much into one film, far too much into one film. I hope I'm wrong, but I do have a big concern about that. I think the Terracons are going to be their own thing. It's been said that they work for someone else. I think that's going to be Unicron. And I think by the time it's all said and done, we're going to understand how Unicron is inside Earth. Because the last time in the films we saw anything from Unicron, it was when his horns were coming out of the ground, and Quintessa said he doesn't like it when you do that. I think we're going to see how Unicron ends up inside of Earth. I think that's where they're going. Could I be wrong? Sure. But that is just my speculation of where I think they're going. I think that the Terracons work for Unicron. I think Unicron is going to very much be a part of it, at least an influence. Will we actually see him? I doubt it. But he'll definitely be an influence. I think we're going to learn why he's inside. And that is going to be exactly what ties Optimus Prime and his Matrix to Earth. Just like in Transformers Prime. That's what I'm guessing. See if I'm wrong. See if I'm right. Nightbird is going to be in it. She's going to be purple and gray. I suspect mostly purple. And she turns into a Nissan. Apparently she has like a metallic hood and a face mask. And apparently she has some traits much like Armada Sideways. Where her allegiance is very fluid, let's say. She's a Terracon, but does she become a Terracon later, or is she Terracon and then leaves? I'm not really sure how that's going to go. Let's see. I got to keep checking here. Tied to Ink and Culture. Let's see. Terracons oppose everybody, especially the Autobots. Cullen is going to be voicing Optimus Prime again. They asked if some of the Beast Wars voice actors would come back. Nobody said anything, but there were smiles all around. For the love and honor of all this right, good, and holy, as a Transformers fan, if you have Beast Wars Megatron, get David Kaye. If you have Optimus Prime, get Gary Chalk. I'm just saying, please, get those actors. If you got Waspinator, get Scott McNeil. By the way, I was shocked that the voice actor countdown didn't have Scott McNeil on it. He did get a few votes, not quite enough. I thought he was going to get a landslide bunch. He is so fantastic. Really is so fantastic. Let's see. Optimus Prime will become the leader that we know him to be, and we'll learn why he's so stoic. It said Optimus Prime will become the leader that we know from the Bay films, but yet this is only loosely associated with that. It's really, really weird. I think it's going to end up being that all of this is supposed to be a prequel, honestly. Mirage is going to be there. He's going to be a silver and blue Porsche. Should be jazz. We all have said this. However, there is a Porsche that is an F1 race car, and it also says that Mirage can take on several vehicle modes. So we might still see him as a race car yet. Apparently, he is anti-authority, and he's, a lot like Crosshairs from Age of Extinction. That's not Mirage's character at all. He's a homesick guy who is, known for kind of having a silver spoon in his mouth. I don't like what they're doing with Mirage. I'm just going to say it. Got all that. Mirage there. RC apparently turns into a motorcycle, has nods to the Energon RC. Didn't even know Energon RC existed until about 3 days ago. Had no idea there was such a thing. I think she looks awful, by the way. But apparently the robot looks very G1. The alt mode is going to be motorcycle, which is a nod to Energon and a nod to Transformers Prime. I'm cool with her having a motorcycle alt mode. It's great that a robot looks G1. And yeah, apparently it's not going to look like the RC that we saw in Revenge of the Fallen. Good, because that thing was terrible. Nightbird we already talked about. Scourge wears badges. And I apologize. I'm going down here like on my notes, trying to make sure I cover everything for you guys. Rhinox is the Ironhide type. I already said. Don't mess with Primal. I already said all of that. And then coming over here, when we talk about the human characters, Elena is going to be a university researcher whose boss kind of keeps taking all of her thunder. That she's going to be played by Dominique Fishback. Noah is a father figure to his brother. That's Anthony Ramos. And I can't remember the name of the actress. The lady from Dexter is going to be Anthony Ramos's or Noah's mother. I already mentioned about the Beast Wars voice actors thing. In Japan, the film is going to be called Beast's Awakening. In China, the film is going to be called Super Warriors Rise because, you know, translations. What else do we have here? It's so funny. I looked at the producers and whatnot, and like, you know, you have some big names: Michael Bay, Lorenzo, De Bonaventura, Steven Spielberg, and then you have Brian Goldner. Really, Goldner? Keep your nose out of it, Goldner. I really wish that they'd remove him. I don't like him at all. I don't think he's good at his job. I don't like that guy in the least. And I don't trust him. I really don't trust him. The movie was originally called Beast Alliance. That got changed. Terracons have their own agenda. They work for someone else. Probably Unicron. We already talked about that. All of that. It has been said that Terminator 2 is an inspiration for the film, for this film stylistically. I love Terminator 2, so I'm okay if that was an influence on this film stylistically. What else do we have? Moving Picture Company will do the visual effects for like the animals and stuff. Who is Moving Picture Company? They worked on the visual effects for the animals in The Lion King, in Godzilla versus King Kong, and other films. So I have faith that they'll do a really good job. That's my take on all the information from the film. I'm excited about it. I am cool with it being Beast Wars. Absolutely cool with it. I want the right voice actors. And I'll even say this, despite all my excitement, I'm also very concerned because we have 5 factions going on in 2 locations. That's a lot to fit into a film, a lot of characters. It has even been said that with all the characters that we do know already, there's even more, but nobody wants to spoil anything. I am concerned that it's going to be too much. Maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. I'm one of the people that love Dark of the Moon, and you had a ton of Transformers in that. So we shall see. Okay, let me check in with you guys, and then we'll do my, not even unboxing, it's unpackaging, really. It is not Transformers. But it's what's going to kind of take us out of here. And I know you guys have been talking again. I'm not going to be in here for too long because I do want to get this done. And let's see. I don't even know exactly where it was. I stopped. Let's go up here. Okay, so it's around here I started. Let's see. How did you feel about the Big Cannon Galvatron figure? I don't know the figure. I don't know what one you're talking about, so I don't feel anything about it. As we go down here, I'm not so sure. I'm excited for Transformers 7. That's fair. I mean, that's your call. I love Beast Wars, so I'm stoked. I'm thinking that there are going to be more movies, but they're going to be kind of like origin story movies. I doubt it, except for the animated one. There's an animated one being done. I think that they're going to take us right up to the Bay movies and then jump over that and make the actual next sequel. That's what I'm expecting. I've always wanted to do that to my car when I had a Civic. Okay. Oh, to like amp it up like that. I don't know if you want to do it with a Civic and take it off-roading, man. You know what? I was okay with the live-action Lion King movie. A lot of people hated it. I was okay with it. What is Flocked? Flocked Optimus Prime. What? I don't know what Flocked is. I've heard Crimson and Jay talk about this. I don't have a clue what they're talking about. You mean furry? I don't know what you mean. And when I asked, nobody told me what it was. Because of something about they don't what? And a bit of info that Paramount wants to make this movie related to the Bay films because of something about they don't like the Bumblebee movie. I haven't heard anything like that. Bumblebee movie done great. So we go down here. I'm skipping over some stuff here. Let's see. Do you think that the Decepticons and Autobots will join forces in the movie? I think the Decepticons, the Autobots, the Predacons, and the Maximals will all have to join forces against the Terracons. Yes. Following movie, Unicron showing up in the following movie, Jay? Maybe. We might even see a face. We might even hear a voice or something here. Possibly. Something that will tell us, oh, man, it's not good. But I think that somehow, some way, we're going to learn, yeah, Unicron is inside Earth. Just like it was in Transformers Prime. Spoiler, if you didn't see Transformers Prime. My guess is that 4 teams will team up. Yeah, probably. Michael Bay just has stake in the production company. I don't think he will actually be working on the movie. I don't care if he is. I'm fine with Michael Bay's movies. I don't have any problem with any of the 5 Transformers movies. I don't expect much from him. I just expect big, lumbering robots that fight. That's as much as I ever expected from him. We're not talking Shakespeare here, right? But it says a Bay Films production. That's one of the actual production companies listed. So there you go. And not executive producer, which means he does have a say, yes. Scared of miss. I'm hoping for something good. I'm hoping for something good too, but I feel like there's a lot being thrown at the wall here to see what sticks. If this is tied to the originals, then Scorponok has already appeared. So, true. That's a fair point. But he also wasn't reptilian. I'm going to be so frustrated if they connect this to Bayverse. Leave it alone. I don't mind using some ideas, but it doesn't make any sense for it to be connected. Sure it does. Why doesn't it make any sense for it to be connected? I don't see why. As a matter of fact, I'll even do you one better. Let it be its own thing, like you say. But when we actually get to a final sequel, pass it all, have Unicron be the thing that brings all these universes together. Right? Have him be the multiverse singularity that brings all of the movie aspects together. I mean, DC is doing it and bringing all of their multiverse aspects together. Why not with Transformers? Oh, wait, I'm already doing that with Universal Collision. I've been doing it for about 5 years. Just throwing it out there. I hope the Terracons will be based to their Energon counterpart. That's exactly what I thought. As soon as I heard Terracons, I thought of their Energon counterparts. And I was like, oh, man. And that's why I thought, how very Unicronish. You missed all the movie stuff, Ninja Bill. As we go down here. Yes. Okay. Unicron is so much bigger than Earth, for sure. Unicron is if he's a planet. However, in Transformers Prime, he was able to change his size. He could be the size of Optimus Prime, but he could be gigantic. He could defy the laws of physics because he's a god-level threat, right? Gary Chalk is always up for more Transformers. Plus, he is a hell of a guitarist. He is. You know what? Honestly, so is David Kaye. Like, Gary Chalk and David Kaye very much appreciate and love the fandom. And I think that if they are approached to do these films, I think both of them would jump on board. And so would Scott McNeil, to be honest with you. Hey, Tommy. Hey, DW. Does this mean Optimus Prime will rip off his first face? What? does this mean Optimus Prime will rip off his first face and finds he likes it? Maybe he might. I wonder if Dion is why Optimus Prime is stoic. Could be. Oh, as we go down here. Wait a second. Terracons that serve Unicron is 2022 going to be 20th anniversary of Unicron trilogy. I thought Unicron trilogy was later than that, but maybe it is. I don't know. Let's see as we go down here. Something about Paramount says they didn't like the Bumblebee movie. I've never heard that. If you did, cool. I've never heard that from any source. What? I do troll somebody? Who do I troll? I don't think I troll anybody. Or I troll everybody. One of the two. New movie means new toys. Yeah. I don't like Unicron as the Earth. Why not? I think it's brilliant. I think Unicron as the Earth is brilliant because it explains why do these big robots keep coming here. This is why. We're linked from before the beginning of time. I think it's way better than what they did in the 86 film, to be honest with you. Yeah, I said it. I thought Transformers Prime's treatment of Unicron was better. There, I said it. I know, blasphemy. But didn't say anything and left to eat. That's fair. Got your hands on the TLK Megatron. Nice. Maybe as another reference to Energon with RC. Maybe the Terracons are created by the Quintessons. Could be. Could work as like Darkseid, and Unicron could work like Darkseid. Oh, he could work like Darkseid, absolutely. See, Unicron is 4 times the size. You're thinking, you're limiting your thinking, like input. You're limiting your thinking. Think Transformers Prime. He could be 4 times the size, but he didn't have to be. He could do what he wanted. I am very hard to go into this movie as blind as possible. Means I may actually enjoy it. I enjoy every one of them. Everybody complains about the movies. Like, I don't know what you're expecting. I really don't, man. I did catch your Galvatron review earlier, Ninja Bill. You got a good copy, man. You were lucky. I also saw a comment from someone on someone else's Galvatron review where they turned the shoulder around. I want to say it was... I don't remember who it was. I really don't remember who it was right now. Burt Stormtrooper, maybe? And, like, the guy was like, yeah, turning his shoulder around is wrong because then you can't peg in the tires. Dude, pegging in the tires is or the treads is a bad idea anyway because you lose the bicep swivel. I wouldn't advise doing that anyway. I would never do that, which I think Ninja Bill said. I'm not arguing with you. Just stating a cool TFX. He is 4 times the size, and I'm not so much arguing it. I'm just saying, like, there's ways around it, right? I mean, let's be honest. Galvatron's the devil. The devil can change form and do what he wants, basically. And not to get religious-y or nothing like that, but, like, that's kind of what he tends to be compared to. That's his level of big baddie, right? So, like, him kind of able to do what he wants and manipulate size and probably bend space and time. Like, I think that's within the realm of his capabilities. Destroy Unicron or destroy Earth. Victory is not an easy price, right? I'm expecting a good story, but whatever Bay did, not whatever Bay did. His movies seem like they didn't even like the franchise, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. His movies seem fine to me. I mean, Bumblebee, everybody's like, Bumblebee's amazing. There's so much Bumblebee that could have been cut that had nothing to do with anything. And I've talked about, like, we didn't need all that nonsense of him stumbling around the house. You didn't need any of that. None of that needed to be there. It added nothing to the story. Him acting like a little puppy on the beach added nothing to the story at all. John Cena's like, there's a door in my way. Instead of opening the door, they blow it up. What? Like, that it was Michael Bay all to pieces. I'm just saying. Like, Bumblebee, I love it. But no film, including Bumblebee, is perfect. None of them are perfect. I love the 86. It ain't perfect. Just enjoy big robots, man, bashing each other up. I'm just saying. Okay, so let's do my unpackaging. First things first, This is on loan because I actually have to do a custom of it, but it is the 6-inch Scarlet from the G.I. Joe line. I'm not into the 6-inch size. I'm really not. It's not for me, but a good friend of the channel, Cyril, has this to me on loan. He wants me to paint it very G1-ish, which is fine. I can do that. Not a problem. It's neat. She looks good. She looks cool. I like these. I don't know if I should review it. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? I reviewed Duke. I don't know. Should I review her and kind of give my thoughts on her? Yes? No? You guys let me know. I don't usually do this stuff, but you guys let me know. Now, the thing that I got, finally, because I have been watching other people with this stuff for a long time, and I've been like, man, why is it not coming here? Finally, I was able to pick up, and I've never had this character. It is one of the 3 3/4 G.I. Joes, and this one is Lady J. I've never in my life had a Lady J. I would like to have, from what I know so far, I definitely want the Destro. I definitely want the Roadblock. I definitely want the Scarlet. I'm not even sure who else is out. I don't want the Cobra Commander or the Duke, though I could have had them. I don't want the Snake Eyes or the Storm Shadow. And kind of, here's why. Like the Duke. I have Duke. I have a Duke. I don't need the new one that's out. New one's fine, but the screaming face kills it for me. I got this one a few years ago. I'm not sure which version it is, but like he's fine. I have no issue with him. I also have a Flint. Now this is the one that's like disguised as a Cobra Trooper, but cool. I'm glad to have a Flint. I could do with a different Flint, but when it comes to Snake Eyes, when everybody's like, why aren't you getting Snake Eyes? Because I have these two. I have this one that came in a pack, and I have the 25th anniversary that came with Timber. And the 25th anniversary is basically the mold that's out now. He comes with a ton more accessories. I'm going to tell you now, if you don't have that Snake Eyes, get it. It's a great mold. Fantastic Snake Eyes mold. So get it. I'm going to show this. I also could go for a new Gung Ho. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my 40-year-old Gung Ho. He is in rough shape, but man, he's still going. He is still kicking. Now, if I do this, like, there's his knees and his elbow, right? I mean, it is what it is. Now, that being said, and I'm going to just go back here for a moment. That being said, I'm going to go back here. Also in line with that is I have a few of these, is one of my original Cobra Troopers from way back in the day. I feel like the new one, and I think it was Inutabi review his Stormtrooper. The Cobra symbol seems a little bit small on it. I don't need a Storm Shadow because I already got a Storm Shadow. And I like the Storm Shadow. So I don't need another Storm Shadow. And in terms of Destro, like the only Destro I got is the movie Destro. Like I want a proper Destro. That one's okay, but it's not great. I would like Baroness. I think Baroness is out. I think she came out in the first wave, and I did not get her because this is the only Baroness I have. It's okay, but I would love to have that Baroness. This is my original Dr. Mindbender too. He was like a G2 version of Dr. Mindbender. He's still in excellent shape all these years later. And I don't need Cobra Commander because as cool as the new Cobra Commander is, I already have Hooded Commander. So I don't need that. I like Hooded Commander. And I already have Face Plated Commander, though I do want to paint his gloves black because I think his gloves should be black and his boots. A lot of blue use here, but otherwise, this is quintessential Commander, right? Love it. So, I love G.I. Joe, but I don't necessarily need everything. I just need some key things, like a Zartan I'd love, Baroness, Major Blood, some key ones I would really like to have. And that is it for my unboxing. And that is it for me. I'm going to get out of here. This went long because we had to talk about the movie and stuff. It was fun. Thank you for being here for 2 years, 2-year anniversary. I thank you so very much. Next week, we're going to do the show at a different time because I ain't going to be doing it Canada Day. We're actually probably going to do it on mine and Starscream wife's anniversary because she actually has to work that day. So what we're going to do is instead of doing it in the evening, we're going to do it like in the afternoon or something. We're going to do something a little bit, different in terms of time next week. I don't know how many people are going to be able to show up earlier in the day. We'll see. And then the following week, we'll go back to our normal Thursday time slot. Happy Canada Day to those in here who are Canadian. And I'll say it now in case I forget to say it next week. Happy 4th of July weekend, Independence Day weekend. For those of you who are in the U.S., I wish you guys nothing but love. I wish you guys nothing but happiness going forward into your weekend. I hope you have a fantastic one. I thank you for coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know, man, how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course, hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around and have some fun with us. Don't forget that somehow, some way, yes, you right there, each and every single one of you. And right now, there are 33 of you in here still. All 33 of you. You do make a difference. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams. Next week, it's going to be on Wednesday afternoon instead of Thursday nights. At the stop motion premieres, hopefully, we'll have the season finale coming up soon, or the old-fashioned way, baby. Tomorrow, remember, Turtler inside the videos.